Hey, good morning. Who's alive? You guys ready to go? Man, it was a long night. Whew. Long night, long day. Well, today's Fed day. So without further ado, let's get on with it, huh? Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of almost 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gathered here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of putting together trade plans throughout this beautiful New York trading session. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. But please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hello, my name is Wayne. I'm a currency trader just like you. Hey, we have a Fed day. It's a big day with Fed's expected to raise 50 basis points, yada, yada, yada. But they're also expected to raise another 50 and then maybe even 75. And then when are they going to end? What's the terminal rate? Well, what's the neutral rate? What's the rate of change between now and the end of the year? Like, are we going to be at 2% at the end of the year or 2.5% by the end of the year? All these are big questions, and almost certainly the Fed won't deliver on what the market wants to see because the market's probably irrational. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens today. Cool. So if you want to talk about it, let me know. If you'd rather look at scalping, let me know. Swing trading, spot trading, position trading, macroeconomic, central banking policy, all of this is fair game. And I'm willing to share the 20 years of trading experience that I've gained. I also sometimes borrow from my business life previous to Forex, both as an investor and as an entrepreneur. Also have a background in macroeconomics and finance, so there's a lot we can be talking about, but I'll let you decide. If you need additional resources, look at the description below this video. There's a link to my book. There's a link to free training videos. There's a link to premium training videos. There's a link to my chart templates, and there's a link to tradersway.com, an ethical foreign exchange brokerage firm that would love the opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect. They earned my loyalty and respect close to 10 years ago. It's a long time ago. So if you give them a shot, try the demo account. You might find the execution speed is fast. The spreads are narrow. Cool. That's good. So low fees, fast execution speed, right? But then what you should also go through is look at your the swaps that Traders Way pays versus the swaps that other brokers pay, and you will find that they are amongst the highest payers of swaps in the industry. Cool. You're like, oh, I like that. Cool. Tradersway.com. Chris says, can you go over what a surprise rate would increase? Okay, what would a surprise rate do? Well, it depends on what you think is priced in. So why don't we address that? That's a great question right out of the bat. Fed Watch Tool. Yo, 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 yo. Let's answer that, not with opinion. Okay? Okay. Okay. So we're 25 to 50 now. There's a 97.9% chance that we go 7,500. 90% chance, right? Or 98% chance of a half a rate increase and only 2.1% chance of a 75 basis points increase. So Chris wants to say, hey, brah, right? That's you, Chris. Brah. Hey, brah. Chris says, hey, well, what if it's the 2.1? So let me answer your question with a question. Remember, I'm studying philosophy right now. So the only way to be a philosopher is to answer questions with questions. So, Chris, is 75 basis points priced in? And by the way, Chris, I don't look at analysts. I don't give a crap about analysts. See, traders make $1 million a year. Analysts make $100,000 a year. So I'm not interested in what an analyst would say. Unless they're on my team working for me. Okay? So, according to this is not an analyst. This is real money. So, Chris, is 0.75 priced in? Yes or no? Oh, wait. La-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Question mark is fair, but it really is a binary question. No, it's not. No, it's not priced in. This is priced in. 98% of the market has priced in 0.5. What does this mean? Okay, based on reverse engineering, based on the price paid for a Fed funds, okay, trade. Remember, this is bank to bank, bank to bank. Smart to smart, smart money to, okay? They are negotiating the price now, not they don't negotiate the interest rate. They negotiate loans to each other. Loans, bank to bank loans. This is not a loan to you, your house, your car, your small business. This is a bank lending money to another bank to cover their Fed funds deposit at the Federal Reserve Bank. Very, very low risk. So the only risk they have really is that interest rates will change. Okay? So it comes down to price. Well, if you re-engineer the price, what was the price of the loan? It's just math. Because there's no other risk. There's no real default risk. JP Morgan borrowing money from Bank of America, JP Morgan ain't going out of business today. You understand? There's almost, right? But if you reverse engineer the price based on the price, based on price, you can figure out what they expect interest rates to be in the future during the duration of this loan. Because they're like, hey, well, I'll lend you the money what you need, but you know the Fed's going to raise by 50 basis points on Wednesday, so we'll have to price that into this loan. And you just do math. Okay? It's bond math. So you reverse, right? So what they did is they did their bond math based on what they expected interest rates to be. So you do the bond math and you're like, well, based on this information, a 50 basis point hike, you got to a certain price. Now, all we actually know is the price. So we reverse the bond math and we figure out, oh, okay, bonds in this duration, this period, in this time, based on the deals negotiated between smart money. Doesn't even matter if they're right or wrong. This is what the price is. And based on that price, this is what interest rates are expected to be. It's priced in. It's done. These are deals done. This is billions, tens of billions of dollars of loans have already been negotiated, contracts signed, money transferred, bonds transferred, all of this done smart money to smart money, and that's what has been priced in. Okay? Now, if this happened, 0.75, that has not been priced in. Only 2% of all deals. What happened was someone else said, well, I'll lend you the money, but we think the Fed's going to raise by 0.75. Very, very few people in negotiations were able to close a deal on that. I guess there was a bank desperate enough or agreed with them. They're like, yeah, we agree with you. But that hasn't been priced in by the broad market. So if the Fed raised by 0.75, the US dollar will get strong. Because that hasn't been priced in yet. Theta says, Wayne, what is your Fed year-end target for interest rates? They've already told us. Okay, they've already told us. So I will go with what Jay Powell said. If Jay Powell changes his mind and changes what he's already told us, then I will change my mind too. I have no prediction. I only know what I was told. Okay? All right. I want to start with dollars today. But just to answer your question more specifically, Theta, you say, what is your Fed year-end target for interest rates? 3 to 5%? No. To answer that question directly, no. What's my logic for that? That's not what Jay Powell said. So if somebody else said that, I don't know where they get that. Oh, well, they think because. Well, I'm not interested in what they think. I'm not interested in what someone else's idea is. I only care about the people that make the decision. FOMC meeting members. So let me ask you this. How many people have discussed 0.75 at an official FOMC meeting? How many of the FOMC voting members have actually discussed it in a meeting? None. None. Now, maybe loosely talked about it after, and usually, when the press bring it up, they'll say, well, we'll do whatever. Not necessarily against it, but, okay? But no one is actually calling for that. You have to understand, the only people calling for 0.75 are people in the media or people trying to get press. They're on the media trying to get publicity. So they're like, oh, the Fed's horrible. They're way beyond the ball. They need to jack up by 0.75, maybe even 1%. But that's no member of the Federal Open Market Committee, none of the presidents of the Federal Reserve banks, no member of the Board of Governors, and certainly not Jay Powell, has said, we're thinking about 0.75, we're into 0.75. It's not like 20% or 30 or 40% of the board is like, well, we would like 7.5, but we can't get the rest of the committee on board with that. It's not even in the cards. So that's why I caution you. And I'm not just talking to you, Theta, I'm talking to everybody. And going back to Chris Whitehead's comment as well, if you are listening to people in the media, gurus are careful. You're smarter than most. Okay? Be careful. You don't need their opinions. You're smarter than most. So what I'd rather you do is if someone says, well, I think the Fed's going to raise by 0.75 this meeting and the next meeting, go check Do the research. 97.9% of smart money totally disagrees with that statement. So do you want the guy trying to get publicity by making hyperbole, outrageous, outlandish statements on TV to get your attention? Or would you just rather have the facts and say, well, I wonder what's priced in? Because you got to be careful. Some people, they'll say things like, well, 0.75 is already priced in and maybe even another 0.75. You're like, really? And then you go just look for yourself. And you're like, it's not priced in. What that guy just said is ludicrous. Well, that would make you smarter. Okay? All right. All right, I got to move this. I'm sorry. So, I bought the US dollar, I sold the US dollar yesterday. And you're like, dumbass, what? Yeah, so what am I doing? I'll move it here. Does anyone know why I sold the US dollar yesterday? YouTube asked, Wayne, is it true the Fed prints reserves and not dollars? The Fed does not print money at all. The Treasury prints dollars. The Fed creates money through the fractional reserve banking system. So that would probably be the answer to your question. I wouldn't say it that way, but the answer to that would probably be yes. And they don't print dollars, but credit creation, correct. Yes. Luis says the Fed rate hike. No. That the market, right, isn't pricing in. Smart money isn't pricing in 0.75%. So who, and not, I don't think anybody expects it today, but maybe the next meeting, right? So if smart money is not pricing in, who's pricing in 0.75? Okay. My son has a job and he's starting to learn. He's interacting with authority figures outside of the household, and he has peers other than his friends and his, relatives and family members. And he comes back from work now with stories of dumb things that people do. And I said, son, never underestimate people's stupidity. In this case, it is being priced in, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm not purporting that I'm smarter than everybody else and I know the future. All I'm saying is, by the definition I gave of smart money, banks lending banks money, there are many other market participants other than banks that do believe the Fed's going to raise interest rates, and if it by 0.75, if not now, next meeting. Okay? Cool. So, the power of dumb money, there's still a lot of not smart money in the market. There are plenty of institutions that get paid by gambling. A hedge fund might do it just out of spite, for whatever reason. So here's the thing. The dollar's partially strong because maybe some people, well, a couple of things. 0.5 is priced in by smart money, and let's say 0.75% is priced in by dumb money. Okay? Maybe a combination of that in the real world, not the logical world. Rational and irrational. So the Fed comes out, raises by 50 basis points, and says, you know what, we're not thinking about it. We haven't even discussed it. We're data driven. We think some of the inflation will come down. We don't want to cause a recession. And they use all this language today that says, no, this ain't actually likely to happen. Then the dollar's overvalued and euro dollar, pound dollar, whatever, dollar weakens. Euro dollar goes up. So I'm already in the counter trend. Because if the logic is priced in, then it's done. You understand? It's done. It's done. Don't worry about it. It's done. It's called buy the rumor. What does that mean? Well, here the assumption was the Fed's raising interest rates and is hawkish. Now that we're here, is it new news to find out the Fed is hawkish? No. Is it new news to find out they're less hawkish? Yes. Cool. By the way, if you're a member of FX Bootcamp, if you have access to the video training courses, the swing trading group, or the day trading group, that's all members of FX Bootcamp. We will meet tonight. Today, I'm going to create a Zoom room, and we can all gather as a community, watch the interest rate announcement be released, and then go through the press conference together as a community. And that's that. You will not miss it. The link will be on your dashboard after you log in. It'll be giant fluorescent orange, and there'll be a countdown timer, and there'll be a giant button that says enter Zoom room. So I will see you if you want to join me. The announcement's at 2. The press conference is at 2:30, so I'll be in there, 1:45. And if you're fairly new to all this, why don't you log in a bit early and watch review some videos on the fundamental course. Okay? Cool. Going back to YouTube, who asked about money creation. The money multiplier is how the Fed and the fractional reserve banking system creates credit, money, but they don't print it. 1 over R plus E. R is equal to required reserves at the Fed. Okay. E is equal to excess reserves. Okay, so you lower R and you have more money. Now, did the Fed print anything? No. So required reserves is the percentage of bank deposits. Okay, not bank capital, bank deposits. A percentage of that is required to be deposited at the Federal Reserve Bank. The Fed is a bank for banks. So JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they all have the same percentage of reserves parked at the Fed. That's required. So if that requirement is lowered, there's less money in the Fed vault, more money in the bank vault. What do banks do with money in the vault? They loan them out. So now that money's in the economy. Cool. What do people do with loans? They spend it. Okay? So somebody sells you something. That's why you needed a loan. Now they have money. Some of that gets parked at the Fed, and the rest of that gets loaned out, which means somebody borrowed that to buy something, and now that gets put in somebody's bank. And then that percentage gets the R gets parked at the Fed, and the rest gets loaned out. So if the Fed requires less to be parked at the Fed, then there's more money to be loaned out, more money in the economy. Okay. Now, excess reserves, that's a bank manager decision. How much should you keep at the Fed? I don't know. You're like, well, we're expecting a big deposit soon, or we expect business to grow. So instead of messing around with the Fed funds futures market, we'll just put a little extra cash at the Fed just because we think we're going to need it soon anyway. So might as well just get to it. So it's a business management decision. But if it's parked at the Fed, you haven't lent it out, and it's not in the economy. If it's at the Fed, it's not in the economy. Okay? So who prints dollars? The Treasury literally has printing presses. The Fed does not have printing presses. So when you read, and it's amazing how often you read it, when the Fed is running the printing presses, wah, 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 fail. Fed doesn't have any printing presses. Never has, never will. But you read it all the time. Whoop. Let's check this position. Where am I losing on this one? What is that? I got a sell on there too? What? There's a buy sell? What? 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 What did I do there? What? Mofo. 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 Huh. Well, shiza. I don't know what that was about. Gee whiz. What did I do there? I told you, man, it was a long night. What the hell was going on there? Damn, boy. So now I got no profit on this. Son of a... Jeez. I'm also on the dollar, Aussie dollar. I'll zoom into here. And I'll tell you what. I bought it. I think I'm at 76, 70.6. 70.6. So I bought it on this dip. And around here, I ran out of whiskey. I ran out my whiskey. And around here, I'm drinking tequila. Jesus criminy. No, it was later than that. Sorry. No, it couldn't have been, right? It was this one. I thought I'm in at 106, so I don't know what. I think I'm, or 76. Maybe I'm on a yen as well. I was watching one of these anyways. By the way, good morning, Pit Pirates. Arr, arr, arr. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, it's interesting. You hear it all the time, and it's just not right. So, anyways, I'm in there somewhere. It seems like forever. This whole period. I don't know where it was then. It feels like it was more like that, just based on the time. But, anyways, anywho. I don't think I would have been able to catch it at 106, but that's where I think I am. But anyways, finally waking up. But holy smokes, was that a long Asia system. Now, good news is that China trading will be open tomorrow. Okay. So so I think this Asian session is going to be a good one because now there's a lot of pent up money from the markets being closed in China. And then now the Fed meeting, there'll be a lot of reason for Asia to trade. Please forgive me, but I'm going to run an ad. Here you go, YouTube. Yeah, I'm looking at it. That's what it is. It's 7106. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense now. So I had it trapped. Okay, long and gone. Thing is, that just took a long time. Awesome, Johnny. Hey, if it's too much, let me know. I can tone it down a bit. Okay. So anyways, that's that. So I'm just counter trading right now, which is strange because I haven't done that for a while. Trying to trade the market, right? Trade the market and not, I don't know what to call it. Is it reality? Is it not reality? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Too complicated. Okay, in the sell zone again. But notice that, you know, let's say This says down, this says down, this says down. But notice less and less down. One way of looking at that is to connect the tops and see the flattening, and then same here. So there could be a J-low. A big, wide bottom. And if you live through the 90s or the 00s, you'll get it. If you find Bill Murray funny, you might get it. Oh. So we'll see. We'll see. See, we're just at that point where bears believe this, bulls believe this, and we're right in between. But a bear that sees this sees that. So bears, again, on the smaller time frame are already short. They shorted yesterday. So what's a bull going to do today? Well, a bull might be able to buy a little bit later, or, maybe when the stock market opens, or maybe after the Fed meeting, or maybe not at all. I can remember everything, okay? But I can't tell what's true or dreams. Deep down inside, I hear my screams. But the terrible silence stops me. All right, anyways, so I'm watching that on a daily for the Kiwi. And if that breaks, I'll probably bail. Hold my breath as I wish for love. Oh, please, God love me. All right. So that's that. Let's do some commodities. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Okay. If you're in my day trading group, one of the things we talk a lot about is oil. And I believe we even did this in the swing trading group, where I did some basic research and I showed statistical analysis, and we were probably around here. And I suggested that oil, based on analysis, not on guesswork or opinion, based on facts, that oil should go up. Okay? We're around 102 or 103. So we'll say 1.025. Okay? Sorry. 102.5. Okay? Somewhere around there. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Well, we made it to 107.5. $5 since Thursday, which is equal on your euro dollar trade, 500 pips. Now, joining the swing trading group is a whopping $99 a month. That's equivalent on that one trade in 1 week, 5 months of being a member of the swing trading group. I think that's a fair deal. One mini lot, one trade, 5 months. All in 1 week. But the real value here is not the trade, of course. It's the why. We even practiced talking about it to a potential client that is interested in investing with you. And I set it up this way. I said, look, you're meeting with a potential client. They're interested in investing with you. You're going out for dinner and drinks. You're having a glass of wine. The steak is going to be brought out soon. You've been talking about Forex for a while, and they say, hey, what do you think about oil? And you have at least a half an hour response. And so we went through it piece by piece by piece, and then I brought that scenario up. And we talked about that, how to very quickly and passionately inform them what you think about oil. Because you're not an opinionated person. Like, what do you think about oil? I like it. It's real good. It's nice. Okay? You got to have a lot better of a response than that. Oil? Oh man, it's amazing that you just brought that up. Yesterday I was going through the recent EIA report, and I went through, right, and I was looking at the 5-year statistical range of oil supplies, and here's what I found. And you can just go ape crazy. I also looked at OPEC. I also looked, and I did, and then, and this, and that, and the other thing. And here's the thing. Oil's going up, brother. Brothers of the same kind, unblind. I don't rhyme for the sake of riddling. Clear all the madness. I'm not a racist. I preach and teach. Because some of you never had this. So anyways, yeah. Just want to mark that. And then I would also want to do it this way. Okay? Because if it doesn't roll over, then it's going to pop up. Silver might be interesting. 22, huh? Oh, comms. Oh, that's Public Enemy. Google, don't believe the hype. Oh, man, Public Enemy. I've seen him in concert, man. It's awesome. Yeah, no, but it's politics. And very often, it was political stuff. Yeah, some of it, like Arizona voted to not have a holiday. They voted against Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so Public Enemy sang about that, and they felt like that was racist. Like you don't even want a free holiday, like you right, like that's right. So he talked. So there's a line where he said, years ago he would have been the ship's captain, and I'm like, dude, that's powerful. But if you listen to a lot of their lyrics, they're preaching to the black community, right? Your enemy can be your friend or guardian. I think that's a huge, powerful line, right? Your enemy can be your friend or guardian. I'm like, wow. Yeah, it's wow. Powerful. Holy smokes. Yeah. Never mad at the fact he's corrupt like a senator. Yeah, bring the noise. I mean, right? Singing to the community, even in positive ways, right? Black is back, all in, we're going to win. I'm like, yeah, work together. Yeah. All right. So anyways, but, you know, I'm a white boy, so. Guess we got to do some biddy. Oh, you know what I was thinking about buying was Lyft. What time is it? Oh, I got a half an hour. I was thinking about buying Lyft today. Anybody got an opinion on that? Okay. It was $31 yesterday at the close. Currently it's $22. So it's dropped from $31 to $22, down 27%. So I was thinking about buying me some Lyft. Revenue up 70%. Beat revenue by 3.5%. And it's down because apparently they have to pay more for their drivers and pay more for fuel. Oh, well, that's shocking. Okay, this came out yesterday, May the 3rd. Number of job openings was at a series high of 11.5 million jobs. A high of 11.5 million jobs. So you have to choose. Be a Lyft driver or get a less flexible, more stable job. Cool. Fuel prices are high. I get that. But I also think there's going to be a lot of tourists in New York City this summer. So if you look at, I think it was Airbnb. Do you guys pay attention to the high frequency data? Airbnb says this will probably be the busiest summer on record for them. Remember, people have already booked Airbnb. They booked their summer holidays, and Airbnb is saying, oh my God, this is going to be a huge summer. Or, to say it differently, it is a huge summer. People are going to drive. People are going to fly. We're back to 2.5 million people traveling every day on airplanes. So, let's say you were going to fly to New York City this summer. Cause and effect. Okay? Do you ask your next door neighbor to drive you to the airport and pick you up when you return? Hell no! Grandpa, why don't you just take an Uber or a Lyft? I'll put Uber just for fun. Then you get to New York City. You going to take a cab? No, you're going to take an Uber. And when you return, you Uber and you Uber. Okay? When you're in New York City, hotel. Food. How do you get around New York City to go, hey man, we want to go downtown, see the Freedom Tower. All right, cool. Uber. Okay? So on and so forth. What? So, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, it sucks. Gas prices are high and they're going to stay high. Gotcha. Uber drivers are going to cost more because they have alternatives. Yeah, gotcha. So again, Lyft is gone. Did I kill I killed it? Lyft stock price. Okay. So I got you. So this was an $80 stock I'm going to pick up for $20. Maybe it drops to $10. I don't care. Okay. It's only money. So any thoughts on that? What else could you buy? Well, Marriott, Lyft, maybe one of those companies that own like 10 different brands of restaurants. Retail, I don't know about that. Like, are people shopping again? So this is a place like you might go see when you're in New York, but I don't even know. Are people still doing stuff like this? I'd have to read this, right? So Neiman Marcus, Bergdorf Goodman. I'd have to take a look at their stuff. Anyways, I'd have to look at it, see how they're doing as far as sales. But it used to be like you'd go to New York City for shopping. Now, any airport anywhere in the world can give you everything New York City used to offer. Your class for $88. Uh-huh. Nope. Stead, Andrew. Ich kaputt, ja. Everyone's membership would have expired by now. So pay the $88 and you get the new material as well as the old material. Yeah. Okay. As you can tell, I'm pretty tired. Didn't sleep much. Worked too much. Oh, I missed the peso trade. Actually, I didn't miss it. My Aussie trade was so slow that I decided not to take the peso trade, but I watched it. And so I must have been here. Watched it. But yeah. Anyways, so I watched it, didn't trade it. I needed more confirmation on the others. Because you know when you're on a 5 or 10 minute chart, sorry, a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, and you're trading, you see this, and you know your first trades of the morning, or in this case the evening, may have been maybe slightly profitable, but you're not sure yet if it's actually going to do this, right? Or do this. So I didn't want to add to dollar weakness, especially when I've been such a dollar bull. I didn't want to have two wrong trades. And the first one was profitable, but I'm telling you, I'd be up 10 pips, I'd be break even. I'd be up 10 pips, I'd be break even. I'd be up 10 pips, I'd be break even. So meanwhile, I'm watching this head down. I'm like, oh. And I was watching euro dollar. Let me go to euro dollar. Euro dollar, in a time when I wanted to be a bear on USD, if I go to this one, I'll show you. If I change this template, at the same time that was happening, bearish bias. Let me zoom in here. Hang on. So imagine I'm thinking, should I add another? Should I add another? Should I add another? And yeah, okay, we were here. And I'm like, should I buy another one? Because I was long USD, I was long Aussie versus USD. Should I, and that was kind of working out. And I'm watching USD Mexican peso, which again is short USD. And, right, so I'm trying to like, should I add another? Should I add another? And I see this. And then I see this. And then I see this. What is this telling me? We are hitting a sell pivot and people are selling it. And I'm wondering, should I buy another? Should I buy another Aussie USD? Should I sell the USD Mexican peso? And when I see this says, no, don't do it. This says, no, don't do it. This says, no, don't do it. And then this screams, holy crapola, be super ridiculously careful. Okay. And then what? London Open, and I got that right. But now it's probably going to do this, right? So that's why I'm not in those other ones, because I didn't have enough confirmation to add the others, and it was terribly, terribly slow. Okay. Now let me zoom back in here, back on the hourly. So my stop was right. So I'm long and strong here. My stop is below support. Now I could just move this to break even, and now I'm hero or zero, which means it'll do this. La 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 la. Boom. Boom. But whatever. Can't do anything about that. Can't take the risk. So that's that. So who's going to be in the war room at FX Bootcamp for the FOMC meeting? Who's going to meet up at FX Bootcamp today? Who's going to be there? Just 5 or 6 of us? No, it'll be available on your dashboard inside of FX Bootcamp. Really? Only 5 or 6 of us? Huh. All right. Jim's planning on it. James says, I shall be there. I'll be there for you. These 5 months I swear to you. Do 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 do. Huh. So, all right. Today, I think I'm going to buy some Lyft and then take a nap. What think we get 0.75 increase? Well, apparently you weren't here at the beginning of the live stream, Richard, where I covered that in depth. So I will let you review the recording. So thank you for being part of the Forex.Today YouTube community. Thank you for being a client of TradersWay.com. Thank you for being a member of FX Bootcamp. Thank you for being you and all your positive energy and all the hard work that you exhibit and the personal growth that you exhibit every single day. I think you and I and we make the world at least slightly a better place, and that is a good thing. I will see you later. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you, and may your profits be above average. May the 4th be with you. That just happened. No way.